Okay, thanks for joining me. This is a walk around of the two and only two environmental campsites at the Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park in the Big Sur region of Central California. This is mid-November 2015, and this is not to be confused with the Pfeiffer Burns or Big Sur State Park up the road. At this park, which is actually very small, and it's home to McWay Falls, there are only two campsites. Number one, which is the one you're looking at right now, has a fire ring, a picnic table, and a little bit of a food box. It's not really a bear box. And site number two that I'll show you in just a second. Both are perched on a cliff above the Pacific, probably about 60 feet up from the water. Site number two is coming into view right now. You can see they have a picnic table right there. That's further to the south. Right up the road right there on the left, you can see two blue and white spots. Those are the porta-johns, and that path right there leads up to PCH. It's about 3 football fields to the road, a little bit of a steep walk, but it's better than parking a half-mile away at the actual state park site and hauling your stuff all the way down here. So again, both of these are perched up on the cliff above the Pacific. McWay Falls is directly to the north of this site, probably about the length of 2 football fields. There's a small fence that separates your campsite from certain peril should you go over those cliffs. You cannot access the beach here. You cannot get down to the water here or at McWay Falls. Unfortunately, some people try to do so, and just as recently as late this summer, someone did fall to their death not too far from this spot. So there is a reason why there's a fence here, and there's a reason why signs say don't go behind here, because you shouldn't. That said, you can hear the Pacific from this spot all times of day and night. The views are amazing. This is what I woke up to from my tent, opened the door, and this is what I looked at. You can hear the ocean all night. Looking out past this point here, I saw a couple pods of dolphins and a bunch of other sea life. Thought I saw a gray whale out there. Not certain. That is where the sun sets in November. Again, just to the west and a little bit south of the campsite. This is a very heavily treed campsite, very difficult to book. It took me 6 months to actually book this site, and here's the only thing I don't really like. There's a trail right up here that goes to the McWay Falls, and people sometimes, while I was here for a couple of days, did venture down. There's a sign right there at the bottom. You can barely see it, and it says, "Please do not disturb the campers." Some people did unfortunately wander into the campsite to ask me how I booked such a great campsite, and they didn't know obviously that it took me 6 months to book it and that they were disturbing my peace. But at any rate, this is again the central coast of California. Up that way is San Francisco, about an hour. No, sorry, about 2 hours. It's a very heavily treed campsite. In mid-November, it stays pretty well shaded. You do get some sun during the day. The temperature was very moderate and actually quite nice. From this spot here where I'm sitting right now, again, I did see a whole bunch of sea life. It's a beautiful place, a great jumping point to a bunch of different trails. Again, these are the two environmental sites at the Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park, and you can book them on Reserve America several months in advance.